Good evening, everyone. Anthony, Wall Street Trader, 8:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday, December 13, 2021. This is not financial advice. This is educational. Click to subscribe, share the video, click the thumbs up. We're here to talk about Quant. Okay, so let's talk about Quant. Quant US dollar. Here we are. Still kind of on an uptrend, but again, this could be a fake out. We are back over this line at 178. We're at 180 right now, which is a pretty good sign. Like to get over this yellow line again so that we can feel a nice burst sometime December 17th, 18th in that range, maybe a little sooner, maybe a little later. But looks like we could be in for a real bullish ride, assuming we can stay over the yellow line right now, which is currently a little bit over where we're at. So let's just zoom in a little so we can all feel it out. But yeah, we're right between that yellow line. We got to get over it. We're very close. One could arguably say we're already over it, but 182 seems to be the sweet spot to be over. But you know, a couple of things I wanted to make sure everyone understands here is, number one, the big boom up. Really, M. Khalik pointed it out on a prior video that we are seeing a lot of potentially the reason why the big spike is related to Quant QNT payments for their over ledger license fee. So clearly here, December 10th, only a few days ago, roughly right before the pop, clearly, they had tweeted this out beforehand, and then bam, pop goes the weasel. And the weasel, it popped. So anyway, let's just take a look at one other thing I want folks to understand, right? Quant US dollar is equal to Quant to Bitcoin multiplied by Bitcoin itself. I do this on some of my other videos. I don't think I've ever done it here, but make no mistake about it. If you don't know where Quant US dollar is going and you get a little bit shooken up and not really knowing where the right spots are in terms of support, resistance, or patterns, or potential breakthroughs, I always go to the underlying pairs. And what are the underlying pairs? Well, it's not Quant US dollar. That's the output. I talk about the underlying pairs as Quant relative to Bitcoin, or QNT BTC, multiplied by benchmark Bitcoin. That is the reserve currency of the crypto market. Make no mistake about it. And just know that this is the mathematical equivalent below. So Quant Bitcoin is really what I call the inner strength, because you're comparing Quant to a straight edge, a finite supply, which is Bitcoin, right? You're not going to get that with the dollar when they're flooding the markets like crazy with additional dollars. Bitcoin at least has a finite supply, so it's a more measurable way in which you can quantify Quant. And that's why I call it the inner strength, because we can get a real inner strength with Quant to Bitcoin versus the US dollar, which is constantly in flux. I mean, Bitcoin is too, but I think comparing a crypto to a crypto makes a lot more sense. Mathematical equivalent is below. For one Quant, how much does it cost in dollars? Equals QNT over BTC multiplied by BTC over USD. BTC USD on the screen is really BTC over US dollar. And when you look at the mathematical equivalent of this and you scratch out Bitcoin on both sides of these two underlying factors, then you're left with Quant over US dollar, which is what you have on the left-hand side. All right, enough of that, but remember it. In the meantime, let's go back into this chart. So Quant US dollar clearly looking like we could catch a bid there. Now let's go over to Quant Bitcoin, which is one of the two underlying pairs. Again, Quant Bitcoin is really Quant over / Bitcoin, and they kind of call it out here too. It gets confusing for a lot of people. Anyway, support right now is at 359. We're at 389. We're still on the upper end of the channel, which is good. We're starting to pull up a little bit. We hit a low around 369. Getting a little concerned there, but now we're back to 389. I think we're going to start coming back slowly. We'll see how it plays out ultimately. And here is the other underlying factor, which is Bitcoin itself. So going back into the chart, we're still in the broadening wedge. We're roughly on or about that horizontal line that we drew yesterday at 46,868. This line's around 46,6. We need to get up as of today, right now. The nice thing about these downward broadening wedges that are so bullish, which means once you pass the resistance line, it comes back up to the point at which this thing started. The nice thing about it is through time, the goal line gets lower and lower and lower. So it just becomes a lot easier to pass. Right now, if I drew a vertical line straight up, we'd have to get over 53K as of today. So we're at 46,888. Again, we've been chopping a little bit on a rectangular sideways chop. We haven't broken down here, but down here we do have a 44K line of support as well. I don't think we get lower than that, but if we do, just be prepared. Again, don't flip out if you wake up one day and it's 36K. But I would imagine it would bounce again. And again, we just have to get over this resistance line. So for example, on December 25th, this resistance line is at 48,485. Anyway, let's move into Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is now on a trend. The trend's up, and this channel is going up. Although it's a lot tighter of a trend than what we've seen coming into this thing. So it's overall kind of intact. It's better that it's not bouncing all over the place. It would probably shake a lot of people out of their roller coaster seats. But let's see what happens here. I think we're going to probably still chop around here and probably go up for a little bit. But Bitcoin right now, 46,856. Good news on Quant with the license fees payable in Quant. Thanks to M. Kalik. Quant US dollar 182. Let's go. Talk soon.